And welcome back. It's time now to go into our second series of the evening. Chengdu Hunters going up against the Seoul Dynasty. Hunters having a bit of a disappointing run at the beginning of the year here. Avril trying to get into the kickoff clash. Didn't really make it. Things went rough for them. They gave up a win over to the Valiant. Now they have to go against our current reigning champions in the Seoul Dynasty and see if they can try to turn their luck around, much like we saw the Valiant do versus the Fusion.
Yeah, I mean, this is, and it's hard for Chengdu as well, right? I don't know if I would say this is a must-win just yet because it is versus Seoul, defending champions from last stage, but they're in a similar situation to both Valiant and Charge, where like they need a near-flawless qualifier here to even have a hope. They're only on 2 points. Seoul are on 7. I mean, at this point, I think Seoul can lose most of the games this stage and still qualify through, so they're okay. They're not going to because it's Seoul, but for the Hunters, they don't have a choice. They just have to win like 5 games minimum. I'm putting that on board. I'm setting that standard. Hunters got to win 5, which means this is the only one I'll allow them to lose if they are going to lose 1. But even then, you know, they have to pull out all the stops here. Seoul Dynasty, they're comfortable, but I think, you know, they're definitely looking for the 2-time here, looking for the back-to-back here. And curious, Ilios, but Stalker's in as well.
I was going to say, feeling comfortable indeed, as Stalker is going to be starting here for the side of the Dynasty. Prophet just having a little spin with his fidget spinner. Just hanging out, getting ready. This is how he gets jazzed up for the series. Creative gets massages, and Prophet just plays with the fidget spinner. And that's what allows him to destroy people.
Is that his little totem from Inception? Because I did just watch that recently.
Oh, maybe.
Do you think that's Prophet's totem? That's how he knows he's not dreaming?
Spinning forever. He's stuck in a dream. It's a dream where he beat
it's been a good
the
one.
Shanghai Dragons and he won the tournament.
It's a good dream, man. It is a good dream.
That'd be a really rude awakening, though, if you woke up and you found out that was all in your head. But it is not. Or is it? It's not. But yeah, Stalker starting. We'll have to see how this looks and what he's going to be piloting. I think before we
Tracer probably.
Yeah, could be that.
Actually,
otherwise,
no, Stalker could be playing.
Before, right?
Stalker could be playing the Sojin. Honestly, you'd expect. Yeah, there it is. You'd expect that Fitz would be playing it. However, it is not impossible that someone else could be in. And the reason why I say this is back in Contenders for Gen G, Stalker played a pretty wide range of heroes. This guy is definitely a bit of a Swiss Army knife in terms of his hero pool, much like Leave, who is going to end up being the Sojin play. Now, I have seen some gameplay footage on Leave on Sojin. I got to say, very impressive. The other thing that will help out the Chengdu Hunters here is that Gaga can play ball. Ball is back on the menu, fellas, and that means Chengdu have a chance.
All right. Oh, hey, Tracer, thank you for saying that right after I did. Out the gates we go. Smurf on the Doom. Gaga just rolling forward, waiting for his moment to strike. He's going to be playing on the low ground for now, poking and prodding where possible. Prophet at the moment going to be hit by that Discord Orb. Monk receiving creatives, but not going to be taking any damage.
This comp, by the way, from Chengdu is identical pretty much to what they played last year in 2021, just minus the off-tank. So unfortunate for Late Young, he's not here. There's no Diva. Prophet gets the opening pick, and Solo off to the start they want.
Well, Smurf again going to be hacked, though. Leave is there for the alley-oop. Scoops the kill. Monk gets Stalker. Will be a bit of a 2-for-2, though, with the faster respawn coming in for the side of the Chengdu Hunters. So might be able to get back and keep this point contested. For now, it's going to be the Dynasty looking for the flip as they wait for the reinforcements to come in. Leave.
You need to see Jimmy putting the pressure on the Smurf as well, right? Because it's one of those soft counters for the Doom. We saw how much Marvel did on the Doom previously. Smurf, he's been good so far in the Doom in terms of how the season has gone.
Once again, a 1-for-1 DPS for a support, but Stalker at that rail manages to find Gaga. Front line going to be broken down. Flip getting ready to come through to the side of the Hunters, but the contest does come in. And Stalker up here on the walkway finds a nice little shot. Call used. Stay safe here for the moment, but Leave will eventually get hounded down by Prophet, who's been going toe-to-toe with him thus far. Both of them now having those pulse bombs online.
Good 3-piece feed there for Stalker as we progress through, and you know, this is the thing, right? Because if you want to play the Sojin for the Chengdu Hunters, which will be Leave playing it, what is the pairing there? Are you going to play Sojin Sombra? A little bit weird. You'd prefer to play Sojin plus the Tracer. That's just not within Jimbu's hero pool, though, so they're playing the 2021 comp. Nisha's going to go towards Anna there as also. At least they're playing double flex support. That will put a lot of pressure onto Smurf for sure.
Pulse from Leave, not going to find an elimination, but they still manage to get on top of Creative and get the kill. Now he's got the EMP online as well. to try to work with. Rally rolling from Vinham, going to be expiring soon. The EMP now strikes Vinham, instantly evaporates. Smurf joins them quickly thereafter as they look for the extended team kill, and they will get it. Chengdu now in control of the point and ticking up. It's 62% established for the side of the Dynasty.
Yeah, the EMP used there just to get the frag as well, right? I mean, we see him just kind of drop it on top of Vindame, catches some other members, but they want the supports dead. That's the primary. So, you know, unlike 2021 with the Sombras here, you just have to look for the damage into the frag straight away. It's not about controlling abilities with the CC anymore.
Creative. Looking to create an opening here, just charging up these right
Stalker.
clicks, looking for a pick. That's a big knock up there off the pile driver. Stalker falling low. Manages to pull back, has the rails at the ready, gets one into Nisha, sends out the nade, and with the rest of the team collapsing forward, they do manage to take out the enemy Ana. Creative, however, going to fall just 2% shy of his Transcendence, so this is still very much a winnable fight for the side of the Jungle
Gaga.
Hunters, especially with Vinham going down here. Gaga finds both. Stalker will get a headshot in on to leave. The point has been flipped over to the Dynasty's hands, at least for now. Smurf just going to be juggled into the corner, eliminated. Prophet still off with the flank, keeping this contested, making sure they can't flip it back. Gaga falling low, rolls over, grabs that Mega Pack as Prophet just continues to harass, holds on to this Pulse Bomb, but obviously doesn't want to try to commit it in for the Wrecking Ball. Just too much HP to try to chew through, wants to try to get that into a backline target.
Look at Gaga, he's just unkillable, right? So much HP, just stacking on top of the Mega Pack as well. Nano on to leave, he's going to be the target.
Gaga's way out in the middle of nowhere right now, trying to stay alive, and he will be able to. And as he returns, he gets Vindame. He didn't even get topped back up. He actually didn't even get healed. He just went back through on the offensive, got the eliminations. But now on the back end, it still doesn't matter. A team kill will effectively come in for the side of the Dynasty as they quick flip this back. Prophet just feeling that kill feed, making it gold.
Has to be leave touching. Should be able to commit that. There we
Goes
go.
in.
So the rest of the team now has an opportunity to watch the EMP. That's got to be the winner here. Jinmu, key to the victory for Chengdu if they can turn this around.
Minefield to try to buy some space, but they get cleared out very quickly. Jinmu, EMP at the ready, jumps up over the top, uses it. Smurf, focus fired. He ends up falling, but it's going to be traded out as Gaga goes down. Rally now expiring from the side of Vindham. Offers up quite a bit of great HP there. It's Leave, gets the pulse in, but it doesn't find the elimination. Creative, however, will still end up going down, but no one plays the point. Nisha just a second too late to be able to touch. Leave was so preoccupied, killing off everybody, that nobody else focused enough to go ahead and touch. So that is going to be ruins going the way of the Dynasty.
And that's the thing, right? Because Gaga and Jinmu are dead. The other two players that were probably in the best position to touch. Remember that Nisha's playing an Ana. The supports here between Ana and Zen, not expected to be the ones to go for it. Lee was going for frags. It's not like he made a mistake there. He is meant to go for the frags to have the turnaround, but with everyone else dying, I mean...
his job was done.
Yeah, he did his thing. And he got the kills. And actually, if there was a bit of a continuation on the point, had Jinmu and Gaga still been alive and the touch continued, Leave got a couple of frags towards the end there as we saw, maybe they could have been a turnaround. It's actually a very close game. Looking towards Gaga to be actually the prime difference maker. He had as many final blows as Leave. They're both on 5.
Okay. Well, now Prophet taking to the skies, Jinmu to match as the Echoes come out to play. Stalker going to be shifting back over to the Tracers. Seems like Lighthouse not going to be the point for Sojourn here, as Gaga just goes crashing through the supports, but they will remain safe. No one getting knocked off the high ground nor sent sailing out into the sea. As Prophet is well into enemy territory, and off screen, Stalker will find Gaga. Good opening kills. They look to get the cap at the point first and foremost once more, and with Prophet being able to beam down Leave, it sets him up nicely to do so, and they will.
This is the other thing that's good about Stalker in as well, because he has the Tracer in his hero pool. Fitz, I think, has been practicing it, but is not really a Tracer player from what we've seen historically. And this is just going to be Smurf harassing through the rest of the back line, keeping Gaga in check as well. Seoul Dynasty off to a pretty brilliant start. Jinmu somehow off the map, I believe, or he died to his own stickies. That was a bit weird.
Yeah, uncertain as to what happened there. Though, Dynasty not going to be too concerned. Just be happy to see it in the kill feed. Smurf wrapping around the back, just trying to keep Gaga contained, making sure that he can't get in on top of the supports. Make sure they have tabs kept of him. Flip about to come through, but Smurf rejoins the fight. Prophet will send Jinmu right back into the respawn room. beams him down. Gaga in the meantime does finally manage to find one. Stalker though, double pulse, manages to get rid of both of the supports, but he gives his life for
3
at the
kills.
same time. Nano there on to Profit, and that's just going to be the point occupied by him and Creative.
I count that as a 3K on the pulse bomb for those that are curious.
Yeah, it is
so
a
yeah,
3K.
there we go. Well done, well done. Got 3, he was saying in the comms there, got 3 guys, don't worry about it. 60% in counting here. Seoul Dynasty still firmly the lead. Stalker's actually outperforming Leave so far in this Tracer head-to-head as well, which is really insane to see. I mean, Stalker finally getting some major play time, seeing his value brought to the team for the Seoul Dynasty. Here comes that Nano though, onto Jimmu this time.
Oh, he tries to get into the back. He tries to get on top of Vinheim, but Vinheim will shut him down. The kick goes through, and yeah, it will be just the Zenyatta's coming up with kills onto the enemy Echoes. Now Vinheim himself will also fall. Smurf exit with the Meteor Strike. Looks like it's going to be a defensive drop down for him, as I think the Dynasty are going to be more than comfortable to allow a flip to come through. But Smurf, that being said, does go back in. Pulse Bomb goes out, got stuck onto the Doomfist, and yep, Stalker does manage to have the recall up. Couldn't make the blink back in, but will be able to stay alive at least for a little bit longer. But that's going to be the point flip here. Chengdu Hunters now gaining control, starting to establish some percentage.
Yeah, duplicates available here as well, so ults have been a little bit slow for both sides for the most part. Stalker will be having another pulse bomb, got a 2K with that, well rather 3 before previously, so look towards it once more. They'll have to do it now because Leaves up 1.
Vinheim going to be taken out, no trance to be found. Smurf down to about half HP, and Stalker getting eliminated by Leave, who's looking pretty good today, as it turns out. Another Hunters will be able to hold this point.
You'd hope so. You'd hope Leave looks good, otherwise things would be a little bit off. I mean, it'd be strange for Leave to not look good, although that being said, Chengdu have struggled. This should be a much better meta for them, so I dare say if Hunters can't quite get it done here, I don't know what they will do.
Okay. Jinmu just gets on top of him, finds the elimination once more. Vinheim not being able to, or not willing to use the Transcendence in that moment, accepts his death. And that is the Dynasty giving up even more percentage here to the side of the Chengdu Hunters, who are now approaching that final fight territory.
That's the thing, right? They technically have the time to play through because they are 92, more than 30% ahead, but as we climb up for the Chengdu, they're going to force their 99 pretty soon. Leave will miss the pulse bomb. No one from Seoul has to use the ult just yet. There's Nano.
Goes out onto Profit. Nano in response on the Jinmu just to try to keep him alive. Profit says, okay, I'll do this myself. Goes for the dupe, dives into the back. He's looking for the elimination here onto Monk. Well, he can't get it as a Tracer. He certainly can get it as an Echo. Follows up for a second elimination as well. The flip now starting to come back through here for the side of the Dynasty, and there's not much wiggle room left for the Chengdu Hunters. Gaga's still dead. Needs to respawn. This is going to be, once more, Leave having the touch.
And he's dead.
He's
so
dead.
They knew he was going to go for it. That'll be it.
Well, a great closeout. Clean and concise there at the end. Well played by Seoul Dynasty, identifying who was going to be able to touch, given that Gaga was still waiting to respawn. They pick off Leave, and they will take the first map 2-0.
Not a bad performance by Chengdu, all things considered. I mean, contextually, they are going against the defending champions of the kickoff clash. We do expect that the Hunters are going to be an underdog in this series. As said, the Hunters probably have to win 5 games here in this qualifier. This is probably the only one they're allowed to lose. If they do lose, it at least looks competitive. I think that's the biggest takeaway from Hunters. They're playing some of their best hits. Jimmu gets to play the Sombra. Leave Tracer, you know it. Gaga gets to play the ball. That's obviously going to help the Hunters out a lot because I think Tank has probably been their biggest pitfall as far as compositions go. So maybe Hunters can do a little bit more. At least it looks okay for now.
All right, well, we'll see how they fare as we get ready to move into Hybrid. It's going to be Kings Row coming up next. See if the Chengdu Hunters can try to engineer a turnaround here in the series, tie it up 1-1, or if the Dynasty will be able to get a nice little stretch lead. The action continues in just a few minutes, so don't go anywhere, guys. We'll be right back. And we are back, getting ready to go into map number 2. It's going to be King's Row for a hybrid to see if the Chengdu Hunters can tie things up. Dynasty start off very nicely with a 2-0 victory over on Ilios, and that was with Stalker starting here, and it's been a damn long time. What, since maybe the first series or two that they played, at the beginning of the year. Now Fitz, though, he will be stepping back in, and we'll get to see Stalker maybe later on down the line, but looked damn good on the Sojourn, looked very well practiced on the Tracer, got himself a 3K after all. But yeah, even if it's not the Profits duo, if it's Prophet and Stalker, clearly still incredibly deadly.
And I think that's the flexibility of the Dynasty now to have the third DPS that we never got to see last year. You'll remember, most people won't, and I won't blame you. They had Sabiolbi, but did they really? Because he never actually ended up playing a game here with Stalker. You kind of get to see what it would look like if a different Tracer specialist on the team got to play the Tracer and allowed Prophet to play something like the Echo, right? Because that's one of the other key heroes for Prophet. That's why Stalker comes in. Not only is he flexible enough to actually pick up the hit scans, like the Sojourn, but then also when Prophet needs to go Echo, that's when the Tracer comes through for Stalker, which is something I'd hoped Sabiolbi would have added to the team last year for Seoul, but that never ended up happening. But new Seoul, looking better than ever. They do get that map win. Chengdu made it very competitive. I do wonder, as we head through to King's Row, what's the response from Gaga? Because that's got to be the centerpiece of the team currently that you have to consider when you're building compositions. The ball is playable on A, but I don't think you can play the ball further than that on B or C, lest you kind of just, submit to having a weaker composition Is Gaga maybe going to be able to bring out a Rhine? Sigma has been pretty popular on this map as well in a solo tank meta, especially for this kind of current patch with the double flex supports. They're not using Daisy, who is otherwise an off-tank play, but Daisy's kind of like Sashin in that regard, where he's kind of just a Zarya one-trick, so I guess Gaga has to be your guy. You gotta rely on Gaga.
Well, he had some nice moments there. Coming out of the Wrecking Ball. Let's see what they have pieced together for us, though, as we do get ready to jump into King's Row. We will get to see Gibraltar again no matter what. We'll see if this one can go the distance as well. Have a full, just 5 map set between both of our matches. I'm all for it. We'll see if these teams are as well.
So paying attention to the Chengdu composition, they will lock in first. Alright, we are going to see the double flex support, so good, that's kind of what you want to see. Nisha onto was Ana. Nothing, we've never really seen Nisha's Ana before. That's very, very new. This is what happens when, you do have a main support on the team. You can't sub them out for anybody. Gaga's feeling sleepy, but that's okay, because Creative is actually not on an Ana, so he'll only be sleepy in real life and not in game. Lee finally going to be picking that Sojourn. He's been kind of flexing Sojourn even last patch when it wasn't good on maps like this, just to kind of tag in on the final moments of an OT. Jimu on towards the Genji, at least it will be supported by the Ana. So it's a bit of a mishmash. Not my favorite composition here. Like I said, Gaga Ball probably going to be okay on A. It's the rest of the map that I'm concerned about.
Well, things open up now. This Prophet goes to the skies. We'll see if Jinmu can get done on the Genji here. As for now, Fitz just trying to get some shots in. Landing too many of them, though. Gets a couple of hits there at the very end on the Monk. It's going to be slow gone for now, though, it would seem.
For sure.
Smurf got himself all the way up onto that high ground very quickly. But just pushing around the flank. Jump out. Looks for the rock. Can't quite connect on the lead. Will manage. Stay alive for now as the ante comes out. Smurf just trying to stay alive. Hugs in behind the barrier. Gaga goes rolling through. Doesn't get a back angle. Has to reload, though. Now it's just turning the sights onto any target that he can potentially find. Jinmu out of the fight, though. And yeah, first tick almost there. As Creative will lose out of the immortality field. Fit him under an immense amount of fire. Will end up dying. Leave scooping up that elimination. Now is trying to duke it out here with Fitz. Fitz himself going to be going low. Gaga able to find the finish. Prophet will fall. Leave looking good on the Sojourn so far. And that will be a hold. They do give it the one tick, but it's going to be a minute 20 burned out of the time bank.
I mean, this is Chengdu stuck between a rock and a hard place, and, it might cause them to sever their arm to get away, but they get away indeed. They only lose that one tick. It could have been much worse than that 2 HP for Leave. Looks like he should be able to survive here. No, actually, he won't. No one heals him. No one can get to him.
Okay. Prophet with the drive-by beam just comes in, scoops the elimination. Now a second tick going to be coming in for the side of the Dynasty, and without Leave, it seems the Chengdu Hunters are very wary about trying to contest this. Gaga now going to come rolling through. Put Smurf down low HP, and Smurf not quite facing him with the Gravitic Flux, so cannot try to, or not Gravitic Flux, but with the, his Eat. Not going to be able to take away that damage. Window does come out from Creative, trying to stay alive. Prophet able to hound down the enemy main tank, or just tank in this case. Gets those kills. Once more, they open up the point just a bit, as Jin was the only one occupying. He's going to have to dash out to safety, goes up onto the high ground, gets a bit of healing. Has been him, tries to lead the charge. Rally rolling, keeping himself alive. Falls low once more. Gaga will manage to crash through, get the elimination, but seems like he's not going to last very long here, all on his lonesome as the beam comes down. Prophet will find the kills. That'll be the cleanup on the fight, and the cap will come through. 4 minutes now on the time bank for the side of the Dynasty, with 3 ults to try to make it through B.
I was going to say as well, Chengdu did a great job staying alive in the Ultimate Hotel. This is several fights ago now, but still worth mentioning is that Seoul Dynasty, while we were kind of looking at how slow the initial approach on A was, they managed to completely surround the Hunters, take away all high ground. Then they come back, Leaves on 2 HP, couldn't get healed, didn't get healed, and Seoul Dynasty snowballed that one kill because they just play a player advantage. They're not forced to use any further ultimates. Leave would have loved to have overclocked in that last fight, but unfortunately comes back, both supports are dead. You're not going to convert an ultimate there.
Certainly not. Well, now the cart moving forward, unable to be held at the archway there for the side of the Chengdu Hunters. Couldn't get the contested time. Nice rock interrupting Gaga as he goes rolling through. Jinmu now trying to dive into the back line. Immortality field has been cleaned up. He's got to pop to deflect, and the Flux will drop him to the ground dead. Leave now falling low as Fitz goes charging forward with that overclock, manages to come up with at least one kill, or at least assist in it, but it's going to be Smurf who really is finding the lion's share of them here for the final blows. Picks up 3 in the fight for himself. Gaga has to dip out, and that's going to be a considerable amount of space once more opened up for the Dynasty on this push.
This has to be a nano overclock as well. I don't. What we'll come up with a good name for that combo. That's what's going to have to happen here. Jinmu is freshly on towards an Echo. When you nano the overclock, the full charge rail does 195. So, well, actually, well, maybe not because Leaf's died. It's already gone. So, it's not going to happen
there
now.
Goes that attempt. Unless they can buy some time, but Gaga, he's just, he's left out the dry. There's no one there able to heal him. Monk now just going to get staggered here on the high ground as Fitz is really starting to nail these right clicks. And Dynasty making up for getting slowed up a bit on point A. They very much upped the pace getting over to B, and now they're on the final stretch.
So it's 195 of body is what I was going to say there before Leaf died. So you just need like one little tap onto someone's body, then tag them in the the chest or whatever with the rail, and that's an instant kill. So I wonder if that combo will come on through. And there it is.
Okay, there it is for now. Does get Fitz. Okay, follows up for another one, gets creative. And Leaf looking excellent, looks for a little bit more. Finham going to be dead in transit there. The shield bash to the sticky bombs. And Leaf fearlessly just pushing up into Smurf's face. Will help get that final elimination. So really nice display from him with that nano setup.
It's an underrated combo, not one that's been displayed too much because you don't often see Ana and Sojin in the same kind of combo here. Most compositions, based on what we saw in NA, would actually have a BAP in the position where Nisha is playing instead of the Ana, so not a lot of opportunities for this kind of nano overclock combo, but very powerful as you saw from Lee. Didn't even bother going for headshots because you don't need to.
Yep, oh, and okay. Shows that his nade manages to get Smurf with that one. Must have been chipped away at. Prophet now is just out in the middle of nowhere. It does force the lamp as well, so putting that on cooldown. Creative trying to run away. He cannot escape. This will get tagged up, and this is going to be a nice forward hold here for the side of the Chengdu Hunters. If they can maintain this, this could, obviously either prevent Dynasty from finishing the map or put them in a finish with, under a minute.
And let's address something as well, because I did say that maybe Bolt wasn't going to be good here. It certainly wasn't good on B. Notice that Chengdu did get rolled on B, but the interesting thing about this position for Ball now is that the opening area does have high ground for Gaga to play through.
Oh, but he is getting slowed up and cannot get out to safety. Leaf will find one as it's just going to be both Sojourns sniping some echoes out of the sky. Nice little synergy here between the two teams. Smurf holding onto the flux, waiting for his moment to strike. Prophet going to be on the way back, trying to rejoin. We'll see who the dupe target's going to be, but it could very well be 2 Sojourns for the side of the Dynasty about to be online with those overclocks.
Well, here comes that flux again. This one entirely missed, unfortunately. So come down to Fitz now.
Does not find anything, but yeah, Fitz is just going to be absolutely juiced up right now. Pushes the corner, gets Nisha in the head. Looks for a little bit more. Waiting it out as Jinmu did go for the dupe onto the enemy Sigma, but got broken out, cannot find a flux of his own. Finham knocking him out of that one. Prophet actually goes for the wrecking ball, creates a minefield, throws it down on the point, wants to make sure that they cannot easily contest this, and they certainly cannot. Gaga trying to play forward, trying to stay alive. The healing coming in from Nisha, throws out the nano boost just to try to keep this wrecking ball in the fight. Nisha under fire, though, Fitz. The very rapid build up there on that rail, manages to just dome him. Takes him out of the fray. Fight continuing. Creative with the window set up. Finds Gaga. Getting rid of the front line. The slide in. Leave dead. And it seems like this should be the finisher here for the side of the Dynasty. And it is. 38 seconds remaining. A good time by. Good forward hold from the side of the Chengdu Hunters. But they cannot deny potential overtime victories away from the Seoul Dynasty.
And for the people watching as well, I'm not going to blame you if you missed this one, but Leave did in fact overclock at the end of the fight, just couldn't really find the mark at all, unfortunately. Most of the team was kind of dead by that point. Fitz, on the other hand, definitely opened things up big time on the overclock, got the frags required via the rails, allowed Seoul Dynasty to push on in, and look, I don't know about anyone else, but I get a little bit nervous when Jinmu does a duplicate, because I'm thinking, he's not really known for the big hero pool, so I do wonder, does he have a Sigma? Has he played a Sigma before? Well, but look at it, didn't really end up doing too much. Couldn't get the flux in there. Little bit unfortunate. Yeah. And Chengdu, I think it fell apart when Gaga died just after me praising his ability to hold in the early areas of C. And to sort of finish off that point now that I've got the time to do it, once the payload starts getting enough distance, that you are past the initial high ground of C, the ball falls off entirely. I don't think there's any real value there. Speaking of falling off, Fitz just can't quite get this jump nailed. It's alright, we'll wait a couple seconds for you. Or the entire world's eyes are on you, no pressure, Fitz. So really, for Gaga and the Hunters to succeed, it had to happen all in that early hold, and that very forward hold, abuse all the high ground, that's when ball's good. Once we're past that, it's all done. So Chengdu, appraised him, he died, and after that, Hunters had no control ever again.
Well, let's see how they fare now on the attack. Gaga going to be going over to the Winston instead. Smurf just stays there, an elite. Oh my god, he goes down to 1 HP. Does manage to stay alive. Narrow margins. But as you can see, when Leaf takes damage, all of the healers on the side of the Chengdu Hunters turn sights to him. Make sure you keep Leaf alive, and that is why Creative now going to fall. A good pick off, and that's without the immortality field being used. So a major kill as Leaf now looks to take the high ground away from Fitz, and he is just battering him. Fitz trying to retreat. The shot still flying. Leaf on the hunt. Throws down the nade. He tucks into the corner, and Leaf says, yep, I can do that too. Throws it down. He's got nowhere to go.
Knows how to clear his angles in the gunfight, you know what I'm saying? So,
yep.
Uses the utility correctly there. They'll get the cap off the back of it. It's funny you say that, Leave goes low and the healers just go for him, because I didn't quite see that on the A defense, but they've learned their lesson. They keep Leave alive this time, and they benefit from it.
That they do. A massive time bank here on the side of the Chengdu Hunters. 5 minutes, 20 seconds. Profit. Gonna be dead. I mean, Leaf is just got a fully choose trail ready to go, and just fires it straight into his torso.
For sure.
Nice little pickup.
Coming online.
A hell of a lot of pressure there. Profit going to be rejoining. Pulse bomb about to be there. We'll see if he can open things up here for the Dynasty to gain control of this cart and try to slow it up, because for now they're on the back foot. They are retreating.
I mean, look at Nano though. Nano Blade should be coming online as I talk about ultimates. It's Jinmu and Nisha that have to go use the combo together here. Here we go.
Oh, there it is. Window comes down, and that support's out of the fight. Smurf can't stay alive. Jinmu slices and dices for 3. Fitz trying to retreat, trying to just slide his way out of there, but he cannot. Leave once more. We'll hound him down. It's a team kill. And I mean, it's one more attempt at getting point B hold here for the side of the Seoul Dynasty. Otherwise, this is going to be a big time bank bump up once more for the Chengdu Hunters.
It's just good economical snowballing from the Chengdu Hunters. They don't really have to use, in fact, they don't use any ultimates to get A because they get it off of picks. Leave initiates that with the pick onto creative. Then towards B, ultimates start coming online. Nanoblade is brilliant. Straight on top of the window, by the way, so the window's entirely counted. You can't use the window when Jinmu's in front of your face. This Flux has to be everything, but doesn't catch anything. And Monk will Transcendence anyway, just in case anyone did.
Null and void either way. Fitz tagged low. Smurf is well focused with the Discord Orb. Has to pull away from the nade. 2.5 meters left to go as Leave. Overclock looking for some targets. The Immortality Field buys them some time. They get the sun out onto him. Fitz will find Nisha, but Jinmu comes up with creative, comes up with Smurf. Fitz now, however, trying to draw this back into their favor. Needs to find a hell of a lot more, but Leave just snipes him clean out of the sky. Follows up for Profit. Oh yeah, it's just trap shitting here for Leave. Absolutely gorgeous tracking from him, and that is nearly 5 minutes for the final stretch. 5 minutes!
It's beautiful tracking to you, by the way. That's the reference. 10 HP, though, Ilios. Leave was on 10 HP, and he still just outplayed Fitz. My goodness, that was something to behold. That definitely gave Hunters the ability to cap through. Fitz nearly with the heroics there to be able to save the point. What happened? 4:30 remaining now. Smurf trying to get it done on the Doom instead of the Sigma. They have a rally to play through, and that will be the only ultimate online so far as we wait for the Nanoblade again. Coming through from Jinmu and Nisha.
Yeah, I don't mind it here. The last point, too many whiffy fluxes there from the side of Smurf. Now he goes straight into the back line on the Doom. Manages to help assassinate Monk. Vinheim keeping everybody alive as best as possible with a rally rolling, and it seems like Dynasty will be able to stop up the cart for the very first time. As Profit just getting that final little elimination here onto Jinmu, and it looks like he's going to hang back. He's going to wait and maybe get a cheeky pulse stick in. It hasn't been scouted, though, so we'll just go ahead and collapse back into the rest of the team.
I mean, even just one reset kind of costs a lot of time for the Hunters, not just because of the fact that they lose a fight, but there's continual snowball there as well. Look at the defensive positioning now for the Seoul Dynasty. All has to be regained by the Hunters piece by piece. 3% away from this Nano Blade now, though. So, Smurf wants to initiate early before the Blade's a factor, but Jinmu goes in.
Not going to happen, and Creative cannot get the sleep dart to connect. Slash through. Jinmu once more finding 3 with a blade. Big value for him. Follows up with a headshot.
No ace.
Shurikens onto Vinham. That is the team kill. That is a massive amount of distance now allowed to be taken by the Chengdu Hunters, who will be rounding the final corner.
You just see the sleep dart sail through from Creative as well. Unfortunately, will not hit. Vindame now moving over towards the Zenyatta. Yeah, again, I think the double flick support certainly is the choice. It's taken a while for Seoul Dynasty to recognize that, but I'm glad they have at the final minute. Not quite the final minute for Chengdu, though. They got 3 of them remaining, so plenty more to play through.
Yeah, and it's a massive hold to be asked of the Seoul Dynasty if they want to be able to win this map, but that's a good start. As Fitz will just go ahead, gets niche up, Gaga going down as well, so that will be the retreat, and that's another forward position that the Dynasty can potentially take if they want to replicate the success that we saw from the Hunters hold. Jinmu still harassing around the back, will eventually die. Cleanup comes in.
Okay, important. I mean, you know, another good reset to slow things down, and again, it's not just the fight itself, but the momentum from the Hunters. They're not rolling through. Payload in a brilliant position, though, so Hunters can just focus on forcing high ground, getting that in their favor first. Minefield, by the way, for this final fight could be pretty important because with the payload so advanced, you just put the mines on top of the payload towards the end, and that will give you a lot of cap pressure. So watch Gaga for that as well as we head into double overclock. Who's going to have the better overclock? That could also define this fight.
There could be a nano available for Fitz unless Smurf needs it. No, they will just go ahead and throw it on him as he jumps into the back, and that's going to be Leave taken out. Pulse bomb stick from Profit. Quick and easy. Pulls back around the corner before you'd even noticed. And he gets the kills here onto the supports. There's the cleanup.
Oh, wait.
And Jinmu. Oh, he just wants to escape, but Smurf says, hell no. Knocks him right back into the corner and then knocks him out. Yeah, it was. It was a happy little accident.
He was going for Gaga. He was going for Gaga, and he just finds Jinmu, and it's like, all right, we'll take it. You don't mind those at all. So that's
the reverse end down, Mr. President, where Gaga dives out of the way, and then Jinmu catches a straight fist.
Oh, boy. You love / hate to see that.
Oh,
you hate to see that, though. Fitz just loses his ultimate. It's just gone.
Yeah, just cut down to size. A chance of survival. Smurf going to be taking a nap for now. Let's get woken up as he jumps in on top of Leave. Leave trying to zone him out, but Vinham is taking names. Cleans up both of the supports. Now it's asleep here onto Gaga. He gets pushed back. The cleanup is there. This is very realistically holdable for the side of the Dynasty. They're already going to do this in all likelihood with this a much better time bank.
However, Nanoblade. That's the one area that Hunters have had great success on. So if it's not going to be the Nanoblade, it won't be anything. This will literally be the last attempt. Now, they will not be able to match the time bank of the Seoul Dynasty, but if they do cap, they will be able to get a situation where it's at least not a draw scenario. That's very important. So here we go. Jinmu, it's your time.
Okay, the mines are there. Fitz is going low. The Transcendent's going to be held. The Nano Boost nearly online for Creative. Smurf under a hell of a lot of fire. Takes a Meteor Strike out in the safety. Nietzsche going to be taken down as he drops back in. Profit with a Pulse Bomb, not going to be able to find any kills. Now the Blade is going to be pulled. Sees that they're split apart. Vinham is already eliminated. Looks for a target. Creative is going to fall. It's just Profit and Fitz left alive. Now just Profit. As the cart glides up, Profit comes dashing in. Smurf rejoins. The recall comes out. Profit right back into the fight as Vinham swaps over onto the Lucio. Creative here. The Nano Boost at the ready, but he can't use it onto Smurf in time. He's going to go into Profit instead. He's going to hope that he can clutch this out. Vinham has fallen. Profit looking for some kills. Can't get any. It's going to be Creative and Fitz coming up with one apiece. And now it's going to be a minute to a minute and 38 as we go into overtime.
Heroics from Chengdu. I mean, they lost both Monk and Nisha there, who come back on a Moira and Lucio, respectively. So 3 players, no supports, had to get it done, not take critical damage to die there. Jinmu, by the way, who you really have to credit on the Genji. I mean, I talk smack about him for some of his other picks, but Genji is certainly not one of the picks that you'd scoff at in terms of Jinmu. He was getting it done on this thing. He was rushing onto Fitz's face, deflects a rail. I can't remember if it hit or not, but deflects a rail, just takes down Fitz almost solo there as well. Nano Blade somewhat comes on through. The Nano was deployed. He dashes into, I think it was Vindame, who was on the Zen. Instantly, Vindame's like, I'm just going to trance this one. I can't even... I've died to this before. I'm not going to take any chances. Baits the trance out. Still has the blade. Pulls the blade. Gets one frag, but it's enough. Gaga gets the rest. Gaga then in the final fight, as the respawners from Seoul come in, gets a double kill. So, well done. Chengdu saved themselves here. It's 1 minute versus 1:38. And like I said, not a draw scenario because Seoul did not have more than 1 minute for their time bank. So, still winnable for on both ends.
We'll see what happens. Obviously, of course, this could still end in a draw if nobody can cap anything on A.
That's true. That's true. When I say draw scenario, I mean like Chengdu can actually still win.
Yes.
Chengdu have the opportunity with it. It's not like they can only draw here, so thankfully they have that going for them now. You remember the first fight here, attacking Wise, leave low, but then he gets the opening pick onto Creative, so that's how they won A previously. And if you can rely on these sort of rails to get... Okay, Smurf pooped down, by the way.
Okay, but Gaga going to be eliminated. That Immortality Field finding an immense amount of value, keeping them alive while they were antied out. Healing note still taking a while to try to get stabilized, and Jinmu manages to capitalize. Takes out Bits. Good opening pick for him as he continues to challenge the high ground. Just look at his zone, then back. Smurf going to be antied as well as he just
5v4.
retreats through the hall. They touch the point, the dive comes in. Gaga joining here on the high ground. Creative on a fire, Smurf on a fire as well. And they will all just go tumbling down. The Chengdu Hunters are not done yet. They will not end this by being full held in OT. They will get this cap.
A very important detail to notice there. Like I said, Smurf got knocked off the high ground. So it was the jump from Gaga. He leapt in, and somehow off the back of his landing from the shift, that was enough force from Smurf just kind of standing on the side. Maybe not too sure why Smurf was standing so close to Edge. Got knocked down. Further kills now coming through Ilios. This is going to be a bit of a snowball. Smurf will go down next.
Oh yeah, headshot right there, point blank from Leave. It just continues to put up figures. Absolutely massive. I mean, Dynasty, they try to play forward to get the archway control, but they just get picked off one after the other. And this opens it up considerably here for the side of the Chengdu Hunters as Prophet is now well into the back line. They're just zoning him out, trying to buy some time here for himself. Has the recall, sees the Mega Pack, dashes across, grabs it.
I mean, Gaga's wasting his time.
I mean, Dynasty somehow haven't cleared off the rest of the people from the cart. They're nowhere close to it,
They need Gaga. Gaga's got Primal. I mean, Chengdu can't afford it. You're right, because Gaga's being cleared off the payload, but then again, Seoul don't force the fight, right? So who actually gets the better of that?
Well, right now, it seems like it's going to be the Chengdu Hunters. Gaga comes back in. He finds Creative. Smurf's going to kill himself off. I would assume with the left clicks, that added little bit of damage that can come through as Leaf gets right up into Vinhame's face and will find the elimination. And I mean, is this... What kind of run is this? You know, they're making it happen.
Is this Valiant?
Is
this Valiant?
Gibraltar-esque. It's looking like
it is. It's about the Cat B. They're about the Cat B. Is there going to be a touch or not? Doesn't look like it. So, like, hell, they're not there. That's going to be a C defense. How has this happened? 4 ultimates online. We got to go back to it. Gaga wasting his time chasing Prophet, but no one from Seoul actually initiating a fight, so it doesn't matter. Gaga comes back anyway. Still gets a dive. Doesn't even have to Primal. And now it's going to Primal for this final fight. I mean, they can get even more distance. He's got both supports in front of him.
I mean, he can juggle it right there into the corner. The Immortality Field has already been used, and now Jinmu pulls the blade. He's going to find 3 once more. Every single time he draws his blade out on this map, he is coming up with 3 kills. Jinmu, I haven't seen this consistency from his Genji in a damn long while, but oh man, is it delivering right here, right now. Down to the wire, Creative going to be swapping over onto the Ana Prophet, just 16% away from that pulse. He's building it up rapidly. Gaga blocking out the boulder with the bubble. Sleeve plays the corner, the overclock rolling. He's just trying to get some timing shots. In the corner.
What is that?
That had to have been a collat. He gets Creative, he gets Fitz. Prophet is dead, Smurf is gone, and Vinham can't do a damn thing. Absolutely unbelievable. As we will log a replay for your eyes.
You better download that. You better download that. So that's a 1-minute push. And Chengdu finished the whole map in 1 minute. And then at the end, you're right. It had to be a collateral.
Unbelievable.
What else could it have been? I just saw 2 people come on the kill feed at the same time. Had to be a collateral. He just killed 2 people with 1 damn rail.
I mean,
my lord, what is this?
How many times have we seen that in the Overwatch League? Maybe this is the first. I can't say that I watch all of North America, so I'm gonna claim that this is the first. It's definitely a first for APAC. So
yeah.
Oh boy.
I'll be straight. I don't care about half the North American games. No one. Who does? That's how it is. I am just saying the truth. Here we go. Yep. We know they clipped something good.
Fair.
What is it? What do we got here? Come on. Oh, woo! Okay.
That is just juiced out of his mind.
Damn, dude. And by the way, I have to be look, not creative. Vindame had a trance when what is it? Jinmu popped off? No, okay. I went back and looked. The trance just came online as everybody died. So unfortunately, the timing was off by maybe half a second. So I kind of, I kind of threw some smack towards Vindane for not popping trance, but to his credit, he couldn't. So sadly, Seoul, their entire defense, it's like half a second off. But even if he did pop trance, even if they lived and they defended C, it's too much distance for 1 minute, isn't it? Still too much.
Well, now with just over a minute and a half, we'll see if the Dynasty can do much of the same. Because they need to, otherwise this is going to be all tied up. Fitz looking for the rail shot. Instead, we'll just eat a Bionade. He and Creative both falling low. He's managed to stay safe, however. As Gaga continues to play around this statue, throws down the bubble. It's the harassment in. He's looking for the elimination. He greeds for the kill on the Creative. He cannot get him. Smurf scoops that up. Manages to keep himself alive as well. Now the point going to be taken here. Without Gaga, it's likely going to have to be a pullback. See a couple shots coming through as they're looking to poke and prod out. Can they actually re-engage this? They're still advancing forward, so at least we'll be in position for the archway contest, but yeah, they're not going to be able to stop the cart from spawning.
This is actually smart from Hunters to not overcommit here to try and save A, because if they didn't fail, they would be snowballing Salt and Smurf, Seoul Dynasty's offense, right? And that's how the Dynasty could then try and catch up to finish the entire map in 138 or whatever it is. So Hunters reducing the amount of ult charge they're giving away. They're still going to die here.
Okay,
which is not
the
best for Hunters.
Gone. A great pulse. Prophet waiting out the right-click hold. Now looks to re-aggress on the Monk. Still has to play this out. Yet somebody's going to get Car, and it is going to be contested here. Gaga as well diving into the back, looking for a little bit more, but will just be met with death. Tries to build up towards that Primal Rage a little bit more, but I mean, the Hunters, they can throw themselves at the card a little bit. They can do some eco pushes, try to get these ults online, and then clear out the Dynasty later.
So check this out. Chengdu might have lost that fight, but they actually did charge ultimates. So both teams fairly even in ult charge. Prophet is working on his next pulse bombs. He actually already used one. 49% over towards the next. We'll get into the next fight. That's insane charge rate for someone like Prophet. Or maybe it's not, because someone like Prophet is just doing that. That's just normal Prophet business.
Yeah.
Everyone's going to have an ult pretty much as soon as we come on. And the important one is Gaga on the Primal.
Okay, well, Nano on his
Nano onto
Nano
Monk.
goes out on the Monk. Just to try to keep him alive. Meteor Strike into the back line. Smurf looking for this elimination. He will get it on the niche up, and Creative is going to be traded at the same time. Smurf now overstepping. Ends up falling
2 for 2.
down. Gaga, however, does end up getting taken out as well. Good pick up there from the side of Vince. Gets Chengdu moments before he can escape. Moments before he can get into the Transcendence to try to heal him up. And the Dynasty, they might be able to match this. The ults
That's
have been
2 kills in trance.
Chengdu with the blade, though.
2 kills in trance. I mean, Leave also just got sniped. So Chengdu dies to well, okay, they kind of both get sniped. There was the pulse bomb there as well, so it just all doesn't even care about the trance healing. And as you say, we're into the final point. Super winnable by Dynasty. I mean, how are both teams able to push so far with such a limited time? Both of the tanks also going towards Zarya. This is like a honorable Zarya duel in the final moment here. You talked about the blade, here it is.
Okay, the blade is going to be pulled. The anti goes out. He blocks. The deflect, or the dart, I do believe. And Smurf and Creative have now both fallen. So working with a man disadvantage right now is the side of the Seoul Dynasty trying to make it happen. Prophet going to be falling low. Him going to be gone. And it was a great effort, but it's not going to be good enough. Fitz will be the last one to fall as the OT bleeds away, and the Chengdu Hunters will finally be able to put a stop to the overtime push and pick up the win. What an incredible run back from them. Everybody on the side of the Hunters playing out of their absolute minds.
Is this a dream? Are we being treated to 2 back-to-back insane gigabangers?
I
off
don't know.
the bat? I mean,
it seems like
day 1 APAC, just APAC things apparently. Day 1 APAC, and he just got back-to-back gigabangers. What an insane, at least this map, unbelievable performance. I mean, I'm just so impressed by the fact that Hunters major underdogs, I have to say, in this particular series, but still able to step up in big ways. Every single player, you know, we talked about the fact that, okay, on our first map, played some Ilios, Jimmy gets to play a little bit of Sombra, but still a weak hero in this meta. It is one of Jimmy's heroes, but a pretty weak hero overall. Did respawn it. Now we get towards him playing a Genji, backed up by Nisha's Anna, which we've never seen before. Looks pretty good. The Nano Blades carried them through, Leave carried them through, Gaga had a phenomenal performance as well. I'm sure Monk did great things. You know, I'll just give it to him. I don't know. He could just have it for free here. But Hunters pulling through a full completion on 1 minute, 6 points on King's Road. We barely even see time banks in 2022 Achilles, let alone 2 full completions.
Yeah, it was a massive performance here from the side of the Chengdu Hunters, and I mean, I think Jinmu maybe had one blade where he didn't get at least 3 kills. It was an incredible performance from him and from the rest of the team. That is the kind of cohesion, that is the kind of impact that they need to have if the Chengdu Hunters want to make a run into, the mid-season tournament. Strong start for them here as they tie it up 1-1, but we are far from done. Coming up next is going to be Watchpoint Gibraltar once more. No draws available there, so we'll see who takes a step forward, who gets to match point when we come back from the break. And we are back at, oh boy, what a series we have right now going on between the Chengdu Hunters and the Seoul Dynasty. We are tied up 1-1 after an utterly incredible, impeccable run back from the Chengdu Hunters in overtime. 1 minute on the clock. They make it all the way back through King's Row once more. And the Dynasty, they can't match. And I don't really blame them because it was a near impossible task when the Chengdu Hunters managed to make it happen. the Dynasty, they can't do it. Now we find ourselves tied up as we go into Watchpoint Gibraltar.
Yeah, I mean, that's just, it's such a treat. That King's Row, you have to revisit it. It was so impressive how Hunters were able to come back, and it was still such an insanely good a fight from Seoul as well, right to the end. And it really goes to show, you know, had Hunters not finished the entire map twice, Dynasty likely would have won the map based on their distance. They still got to see. They just couldn't finish the map again, which, as you said, hard to blame them. It's difficult to do. Nearly impossible to do. Usually shouldn't happen.
Yeah, it's just one of those things that it's not normally, but the Chengdu Hunters managed to make it work. Now, Gibraltar, we go back in once more. Saw this. I mean, this was the staging ground for the Valiant's reverse sweep. This is where they picked it up, and it really got the ball rolling with an incredible OT push of their own. With Stalker coming back in, seems like it's going to be a stray away from the Widowmaker, though, that we were seeing Dia find so much value on just earlier.
Yeah, it's not really for every team, right? I think when we look towards the Stalker Prophet combination, it's unlikely that you'll see a Widowmaker. I think, you know, Stalker is someone that can play the Widowmaker as well, but I wouldn't consider that to be one of his primary picks. So we'll see how that goes. Most like, I mean, it wouldn't be impossible either, but if you, here's the thing, Achilles, if you really just wanted to play the Widow here, you'd probably just leave Fitz in. So my assumption has to be, okay, Stalker, TP out, then likely will be either on Tracer or Sojourn. So that'll be kind of the mix here going on in. Jimmu for the Echo. Thought it was a little bit lackluster on the opening Ilios. Will have to be a much better performance on this Echo now to, I think, get the map win over Seoul.
Stalker just going to be going back over to the Tracer. Okay, no. Changes it up.
It'll be one of the two I said.
I'll take it.
Whichever.
Yeah. And Smurf, I think, going to be a lot more comfortable now. Goes back to familiar territory with the Winston, of course, with this map. And while he's a man that can wear many hats and wears them well, I think that the Sigma hat right now, it needs to be resized to fit. It's like Custa. His brain's too big.
Oh, all right.
Nice shot there from Stalker. Get leave. Goomba stomp in on the Prophet, though. Jinmu able to pick up creative, so it's not without cost. Cart, however, still continuing to advance forward, getting to the top of the underpass ramp.
Gaga's back now, so that's important for the Hunter's ability to fight this one again. And both teams pretty much almost running a mirror here, but I do, again, prefer the double flex support of the Hunters to the break coming through from Vindame. Smurf down, that'll slow things considerably. I believe payload distance is reasonable for the Seoul Dynasty, so they got that to work through in terms of trying to get up to high ground. It's been slow going for both of our Annas, though. Nearly a minute 30 gone, and we're barely halfway towards an Anna. Okay,
Lee finding Prophet, though. Hasn't really been able to find too much value so far in the map. Stalker as well, getting zapped away at. Gaga will find that elimination, and with this forward push, the Chengdu Hunters definitely starting to feel it, getting into the groove here as they clean up the enemy team. Prophet just now re-arriving, has to recall instantly back into the spawn room just to stay alive.
I gotta say as well, you know, a decent number of eliminations for Jimmu, so talked about the fact that he would have to step up here on this map. You know, now that we're away from the Genji, which we do trust Jimmu on, the Ginmu, I was about to say, but now we're on the Echo, so nearly on towards the duplication, so a reasonable amount of damage coming through, and this is timed with the fact that Nanos are nearly online. Gaga already has a Primal, so Chengdu looking good ult-wise.
See the contest there onto the high ground, just trying to keep Smurf at bay. Jump in, put a little bit of damage here onto Leave, but as we've already pointed out, Leave gets pocketed, he'll be fine. Gaga going to be taking a nap well into the back lines, wakes up as just enough Primal Rage left to try to rejoin with the rest of the squad, but Smurf finding some value, helps juggle around Monk to get the elimination. They'll follow up with Nisha, that's the supports now out of the fight, and a big opportunity for the Dynasty to go ahead and get this cap, and yeah, seems likely. There's the final kill, an extended team wipe, as the supports are going to be split spawned here. Dynasty can pursue forward and try to get a punish.
This is kind of what happens when, you know, one Primal goes sleepy on the sidelines, and we talked about the fact that Gaga looked a bit sleepy on the cams, well now he's going to be slipped in game as well, whereas Smurf got to actually play the game with his Primal. Doesn't get to play the game on this opening fight, but that'll just give Chengdu now the opportunity to hold forward if they want.
Yeah, they did go aggro, trying to get the supports. It took Nisha quite low, but it wasn't enough to get the elimination, so flying a little bit too close to the sun there was Smurf. It's taken out, but Stalker going to alleviate some pressure. Gets sort of Jinmu out of the skies. Does get jumped on. Up at him gonna fall, but here comes the overclock. Manages to find one. Leave. Domed. He's pushing forward. He's looking for Gaga. The shot not quite going to connect, but that's a great one. On to Nisha. Quickly identifying the position of the enemy. Ana getting the elimination. As they'll now move up over the top. Stalker flanking from down below. Good amount of space here for the side of the Dynasty. Making decent pace.
I figured it out, by the way, Ilios. I dubbed the combo the Nano Clock, so there it is officially now.
The Nano
Clock sounds good. Straight to the point, tells you everything you need to know. Does a bunch of damage. You'll notice that Stalker didn't even charge his rail the full way through. Just knows the damage output's like an even half charge with a Nano Boost, enough to take down Leave there in a one-shot. So Nano Clock combo definitely making the rounds.
I was thinking that or the overboost. Either way, I like it. Dive into the pack. Stalker going to just get hounded down. Gaga will find that kill with a primal. Prophet well into the back line. It's going to recall, but he doesn't have too much of anywhere to go. See if he can try to rejoin him with the rest of the squad. The nade coming down from Creative helps push their HP bars back up as well as kill Gaga, but a nade in reply from Nisha does find
Wait a minute.
Prophet! Oh my goodness, Prophet. Oh, egg on the face of the Chengdu Hunters. Prophet says like, yeah, I guess you guys forgot about me. There's so much pressure, so much distraction happening in the front lines. He just drags the payload across the line, and that is going to be a bit of a tilter for the Chengdu Hunters.
Yeah, it's a soon moment right there. Shout outs if you remember that throwback. Cheeky back cap that works out. Seoul now 3 minutes remaining and get themselves out of a otherwise looking pretty difficult situation on being not unwinnable, but certainly difficult, challenging. Will be the word of choice here. 4 ultimates online, so plenty to go through. Definitely a big advantage over the Chengdu Hunters as they're kind of working on some decent offensive ones. Nano full Smurf is a big deal here as Nisha's still trying to catch up.
Rally rolling from Benheim, but Prophet is already out of the fight. Good headshot there from Leave. Smurf going to get taken low, forced to use the Primal Rage to stay alive. Gaga, however, does not have that luxury, so the Transcendence has to come in from Monk just to keep him in the fight. Smurf going to be taking a nap now, and as he gets woken up, it's very rudely, with Monk just holding a right click straight into his face. He doubles down, gets another kill on the Creative. Stalker, he draws out the ult, but it's not going to be good enough. Only a kill onto Gaga as he will get dropped.
It's offensive Nano coming through for Stalker, backs it up with the overclock. And Nisha will use it defensively to keep Monk alive, and that ends up being enough for the Chengdu Hunters to hold on. League will still have his overclock for that next fight as well as the Primal Rage. So Seoul Dynasty put Smurf into the driver's seat as far as the offensive pressure goes, but shut down pretty handily by Nisha. So impressive stuff. I mean, again, we haven't really seen or had history of Nisha playing Diana, but he's doing a good job of just putting Smurf away, keeping him locked up.
Pulse out, not going to find anything. Prophet with some rare misses here today. As Leave charging forward.
Oh boy.
The overclock rolling, but great sleep from Creative. Helps them get the kill, but then he will go down. Smurf once more, going to be taking a nap himself. Gaga goes into the back line, looking to take down some of these supports. Benheim will manage to survive with just a sliver of HP, but Smurf was finished off in the meantime, so the Dynasty are still going to have their work cut out for them if they want to push. Otherwise, they're going to have to wait and reset.
Yeah, this is looking like running out of time potentially, especially with the fact that there are more ultimates coming online for Hunters that can just extend this one further, a lot further. You're still waiting for Seoul to find something here. Looks like a pulse bomb survived. Well, Jinmu landed that on somebody.
Yeah.
It must have been Vindane, but could have just been on the shield. Was it Smurf? Okay,
I believe it was Smurf, and he leapt to the side into the health pack room. Just avoiding, making sure that he doesn't blow up anybody on his team by proximity as Gaga into the back line. Leaps straight up, not exactly where he wants to go. Will get hounded down in the end, but Smurf in the meantime as well will also die. So
another nano into Monk.
Yes, it was.
Yeah,
I believe.
It's like almost not quite 3 in a row, but 3 in over the course of 2 maps now in recent succession. If it works, it works, I guess, right?
If it
works, it works.
Imagine if the Nano made his kicks, go twice as far on the knockback. It'd be kind of funny
to watch, use both feet like a kangaroo, just both feet kicking.
Yeah, just drop kicking. Stalker now once more overclocked, looking for lead, takes him low, can't get the elimination. Now the trans rolling from Monk, keeping everybody else alive. 10 seconds remaining. Leave does end up falling in the end. Monk as well, going to be hounded down now. Nisha left
that's a lot of kills.
Yep, massive kills coming through as the team kill will be completed. There's still potentially a chance for a last-second contest to come through, though. See if they can make it happen. Monk going to be swapping over Leave, trying to go over to the Mei. It's a little bit late through the arrival, but manages to get into the ice block just in time. Bubble comes down to try to cut off any healing onto him. Mortality Field going to be finished off. Bioning goes out of the 2. Prophet going to recall to get rid of that. Stalker managing to survive as the Nano hits on the Smurf. Looking for targets, jumps over to the side, blocks Nisha back over into the spawn. The supports cannot get out, they cannot contest, and it will be an overtime, but the Seoul Dynasty get the completion here on Gibraltar.
What ended up being a pretty close defense for the Chengdu Hunters ends with a bit of a whimper as Seoul Dynasty collect all 5. I don't think they got traded at all. Importantly, you notice that Smurf Primal there got slept almost straight away by Nisha, but somebody woke him up. So that's the difference maker. Again, Nisha has been doing a pretty good job of shutting down Smurf on this Ana. However, when Smurf gets to play the game and he gets to use his Primal, you saw his impact, gets those frags, keeps the Chengdu Hunters down. And this will be... Okay, yeah, there we go. That's how they elect Smurf. And does he get a Nano here? He does. They just want to do the damage on Monk. You talk about Monk with the Zenyatta getting buff. Well, he certainly used it to pretty full effect.
Yeah. Absolutely gorgeous stuff there. And I mean, I do like the boldness to just make that call and say, okay, we're going to Nano the Zenyatta. Sorry, Leave. It's not going to you. You know, they already pocket heal him so much. How much more can he ask for until he's just being way too selfish?
225 HP on the Zen. Let's just double that effectively with the damage reduction. 3rd DPS. So that's one of those, like, well, you know, it's definitely no accident when Nisha's done it like 3 times at this stage, as I've said. Back over towards the Brig Zen for now, though, on this particular attack. This isn't going to be some TP strat either, because Gaga's on board. They're just going to play this one in a normal kind of way. I did say that Stalker had the Widowmaker in his hero pool, so time to test this one out. See if it's still fresh, or if it's maybe a little bit rusty. Again, haven't really seen him on this for a while.
Yeah, it's a bold strategy, Con, to try to bring this out right now. But Stalker has widely looked very good today. Looking for Gaga, just a little pot shot over towards him. Knows that he's not going to be able to do too much significant damage to the ball, especially once he starts rolling around. You lose that head hitbox. Jump back. Stalker just looking to put some distance between he and the Chengdu Hunters, because Jinmu coming up over the top rope could lead to death in the blink of an eye.
And still, I think Chengdu are mostly playing some of their best hits here. Everyone gets to be on a comfortable hero. I somewhat rate the ball higher than the Winston anyway, except maybe in the hands of Smurf, who's unbelievably good at the Winston. So we'll give Gaga that survivability he's been looking for compared to where we were previously, and put the extra pressure on the Stalker as well. Push time has mostly ended here as Prophet does contest a payload. It's up to Gaga to try and build some space on the higher ground, but he's just so low.
There he is. Slow going. This cart's starting to roll back, but okay, that's a big opener. Leave just, not even with a rail, just headshotting Stalker with the left-click projectiles. Big opening kill now as the rest of the Chengdu Hunters pushing forward. That support's gone. Prophet managing only to find Nisha, but it's not going to matter. Monk cuts him down to size. Smurf is eliminated. And that's going to be point A and a very healthy time bank here for the side of the Chengdu Hunters.
Now Stalker's going to go towards the Ashe, so that's, again, interesting because the Sojourn would be the preferred pick. He definitely plays the Sojourn. It's just the Ashe pick will be the choice here, which, again, is still strange. Monk, 75% towards that next Transcendence. I mean, everybody's so close to ultimates here. Nisha's not even playing the Ana anymore. And it comes down to the fact that despite the big Byron landing on the Chengdu Hunters, they didn't really care about that. They got all the kills required. As the ultimates start to come online for Seoul, though, this is where they got to go. And they get leave already.
A good kill with the swap up. Just looking for a little bit more. They know Jinwoo is going to be playing around the top left, and they should know that he's going to have that blade online. Harassed down quite low. Prophet now looking, trying to get sights over to Gaga, trying to build up towards that pulse bomb. Just for now, it's fairly neutral fighting. Gaga just keeps the cart contested for the time being.
It's got to be a blade, I mean.
Oh,
there it is, finally.
Led in there by Creative, but is it too late? Jinmu trying to dive into the back, will manage to get on top of Creative, looks for a little bit more, and Stalker is actually going to be eliminated by Gaga in the end. Smurf with his Primal will find Monk, but I don't know if he's going to be able to get through Nisha. The rally is rolling, and now the team has fallen down around him. Smurf will get Jinmu in the end. It's not kills without repercussions for the side of the Chengdu Hunters, but I think they're going to be very happy with the kills that they have found. Smurf narrowly making out with his life, but the cart is being brought forward by the rest of the team.
Yeah, it's expensive though, I mean, right? You get 3 ultimates used here for a mostly one fight. I say mostly because Seoul still slowed down the payload, traded kills as well, forced the respawns, which means no snowball for the Chengdu Hunters. A decent minefield to come on through. Cleared very quickly though.
Yeah, not going to last too long. Bubble gets popped. There goes the mines, just clearing them out. Rally there from Vinheim. A lot of people with that green HP to hold on to here for a little bit longer. Sleeve holds on to the ult. He's looking for a target. It's the cart not far off the mark now. Making it into point B. Push up here onto the high ground. Stalker gonna fish Gaga with the punch. It's that elimination, but here comes the overclock. Leave now. Trying to charge forward. The bubble blocking a lot of these hits though. It's one shot there into Vinheim just across the chest. Not going to be the headshot that he would so desperately love to have. The bomb going to be going in. Stalker getting Jinwoo in the drop down. The bomb cleans up Nisha. That's going to be the fight victory going the way of the Seoul Dynasty. Drain down the clock just a bit more. Smurf low on HP. Can just go ahead and be a battery for Vinheim and Creative.
They counterplay that overclock so beautifully as well. You saw what happened there. Smurf drops down the bubble. First couple of shots from Leave have no purchase because of that. Then the Vinheim whip shot just forces Leave backwards. So his entire overclock, he just wasn't able to see anybody or hit anybody. Just perfect execution from Seoul Dynasty to make sure he can't get anything there. Unfortunate miss by Stalker. Could have probably have killed Jinwoo there. Time definitely running out here. So this map looking pretty comfortable for Seoul as it's getting more difficult for the Hunters to break on in.
Nisha anti, dive into the back. Smurf going to find that elimination. He's got the primal as a bailout technique if he needs it, but he will not, at least not yet. Jumps out. Oh, he is limit testing once more. This man narrowly survives. Stalker
16
though,
HP, I think.
It's a nice nice peel. Will get Leave as well, and that could have made the difference in Smurf living and dying if he hadn't gotten that pick onto the enemy Sojourn. Now a minute and 15 seconds, about to be back in the clock. Chengdu Hunters, can they break through? They have the trance, they nearly have the rally.
It's also the primal as well, right? The usage of the primal or not also makes or breaks, because now Smurf can save it for the final fight, especially in a situation where you are 4v5. You need to buy time. Actually, they're not being pressured. Chengdu, because of Gaga sleep. Okay, now they're pressured for sure.
Yep, that's both the supports dead. Vinheim right now currently running back. Prophet going to be taken down. Now Smurf going to have to be the only one that could contest, and it seems like he will just
they're not going for it.
Hold the ult. Yeah, they're not going to go for this. They know that they're just far too split spawn, and now they're in a really rough position. This is going to be interesting to see how they try to pilot this. They might just try to fight back from this position, but Stalker looks like going to be sent off the side of the map. Sleep dart there onto Gaga. We'll slow him up for just a moment as Smurf comes diving down onto the rest of the Chengdu Hunters looking for some picks. It will be Nisha as the primary target who falls. Then him going to be traded out though, so that's the Briggs gone, but Prophet gets Monk. Leave is out. And even with the disadvantageous spawns, it seems like the Dynasty are going to be able to win out this fight. They're going to be able to stabilize.
Well, what I'll say about the disadvantageous spawns is the fact that they're all together, so, I mean, you could just make a fight happen, and they do. Smurf not going for the primal on B for the final fight says that they wanted to bank everything in terms of resources on holding very close 4C, but they didn't actually use ultimates. Neither did the Hunters, because Hunters didn't want to be baited into a poor economic situation. So both teams played a pure neutral outside of Jinwoo, who might have used the pulse bomb there, not too sure. And at the end of it, because Hunters got both supports of Seoul have to back out.
Down to Smurf, he's trying to pressure Monk, and he will. He's going to force the Transcendence out. Smurf now just jumping back around the corner, pulse bomb out from Prophet. Not sure where it went, but either way, he is dead. Gaga swinging through, manages to find that elimination out. Vinheim and Stalker going to be taken down as well. Smurf falling low, has the Discord Orb on him. Decides to go for the full reset, but it's going to be one last contest here for the side of the Dynasty. A lot of ults to work with, but they got to get out there quick.
Bob's important here as well. Primal, they can delay for a very long time. This should just pull everything out. I mean, just the back of those two ultimates combined will mean that Hunters have to do a lot here to try and get the scav.
The Bob gets booped away for a moment, but it was still in range to contest. Now they clear it off the point, dive into the back line. Jinwoo looking for Stalker. They take him down low, but they haven't been able to eliminate him yet. Primal's rolling from Smurf. He is juggling Nisha all the way away from the rest of the squad. Now he's got the other supports, but there's just too many players all clumped up in that room. The Smurf ends up dying. Has the fast run back, however. And right now, Chengdu Hunters are in a bad spot. That pick from Prophet, that shot from Stalker, that could cost them dearly. 8 seconds remaining, and someone's going to have to touch. They don't have a Tracer to do it. Gaga coming around from the back. Going to try to swing through. Can they deny him? They do. They shut him down, and that is just going to be it. Beautifully done by the Seoul Dynasty, but so very close once more between these two teams. This very well could still go all the way to 5, but for now, it's going to be the Dynasty moving up to match point 2-1 with a win on Gibraltar.
Such an intricate sort of flow of the ultimates being exchanged towards the end there as well, where the opening fight that we have on C, as mentioned, with Smurf not using Primal on the end of B, they wanted to go for something aggressive straight away. No one used ultimates. It ended up being Chengdu Hunters using ultimates on the secondary fight to get across that final corner, but then they didn't have enough to sail it home. It was Seoul Dynasty still holding on to, importantly, both Bob and Primal, delaying the payload, buying time, Smurf trading kills, comes back alive. Stalker, what an insane flick on that Ashe, by the way. Off the back of both him and Prophet getting frags, it ends up being enough. Just got to stop people from touching. They do, and we're done. We're out of there. Seoul Dynasty now lead 2-1. However, like you said, it's so close. Chengdu Hunters have played so well that it's unclear that Seoul have just won this match so far. I still think Hunters could still be in it. 2 more maps to play through, maybe just 1, we'll see.
It's been narrow margins the whole way throughout. I mean, aside from Ilios, really, but even then there was a little bit of back and forth there from time to time. But I'll tell you what, Avril, you could turn off the nameplates here and I'd just be like, yeah, that's the Prophets duo. Stalker is stepping up to the plate. He comes out with the Widowmaker, says, not going my way. Goes over to the Ashe, immediate impact found. Wonderful performance from him. With that, also with a Sojourn throughout in the maps that we've seen him so far. I'm looking forward to seeing if he is staying in or if we'll have Fitz rejoin. Don't care either way. They're both incredible, but I love the series that we have going on. We started things off with a banger. We're right back into a second one. Match point for the side of the Seoul Dynasty. Chengdu Hunters, can they take it to 5? We're going to find out in just a few minutes, so don't you dare go anywhere. And we are back, and things continue to heat up. 2-1 the scoreline here as the Dynasty, they barely managed to clinch out that victory there on Watchpoint Gibraltar, but they successfully hold. Chengdu Hunters now on the back foot. Need to win our next map and a push and see if they can take this all the way to a Game 5. I, for one, as per usual, Avril, am all about it. We already had an absolutely incredible Game 5 series to kick off the day. Let's finish out with one as well.
My only concern here is that because we are going to call a CO, you know, the comps are limited for Chengdu. It's across the board. I mean, you know, it's again ironic that Leave, probably the most flexible player in the world, he's unfortunately he's on one of the least flexible teams, and it means that if you get to Coliseum, think about what are the good heroes in Coliseum. We have, I think, Ryan kind of at the top of the list. If Smurf just goes Ryan, and Dynasty play mostly a brawl composition, I think they're pretty favored on this map because there's not a lot that Gaga can do. He's never really showed his own Ryan. Zarya would not be the right call here. Ball is an option, but I don't really think this is a great ball map. I mean, you don't have good high ground to abuse until you get to the checkpoint. Don't get me wrong, but the opening neutral in the sort of concourse, not great for ball. Really unfortunate for ball, actually. So Winston, I probably wouldn't recommend here. Most teams have not really ever played Winston here, so I guess you got to go towards the Gaga Doom. Has to be the option I think is most likely being played by Chengdu. Other than that, I mean, they would have to do something phenomenal on the ball to pull it through. I think Seoul have more to work for on this map rather, and Chengdu would have to find some win conditions to work around their hero pools, which aren't quite as flexible as Seoul's overall.
Well, looks like Gaga going to be sticking through with it, though. Smurf has been having a bit of a rough time, or at least on that King's Row with the Sigma. Looks like he's going to be going back to it once more. We're not doing it. Prophet.
Again, if you...
He's going to stick with this.
If you kind of just... They think it's a Sigma mirror. They think it's a Sigma mirror. That's why they're playing Hanzo here as well. It's a Sigma plus a Hanzo. And this is, I think, this is probably a coaching staff call. They're like, okay, Sigma mirror here. They're probably going to play Sigma. We break shields. And then you're like, oh, wait, it's the Chengdu Hunters. It's Gaga. Of course he's going to play ball. Come on, guys. You have to know he's going to play something like the ball.
Well, we'll see how they try to pile around this now, because it's far too late to try to go back and swap your comps out. The bot going to be unlocking here relatively soon. Recall going to be used. Prophet trying to stay elusive, trying to stay alive, but he cannot. Jinmu managing to hound him down. The support
swaps
cannot get over to the Hanzo in time to try to keep him alive. Binhaim going to be traded out. Monk lost on the side of the Chengdu Hunters, but they are the ones who are widely winning the fight. Only a couple casualties to their name as they will go ahead, knock down the Dynasty and begin pushing forward.
You know what, Ilios, maybe we will go to map 5. I mean, Prophet is not going to swap here. Smurf, let's take a look. No swap. More Sigma, more Hanzo. And actually, we're getting to the part of the map where Ball's good. I was going to say, Ball's not even really that good on the first part of the map in the neutral during the sort of the big long lane. But here we go. Ball has high ground to play through. Bam, slam onto Prophet. He's okay, though. He was the first picked on the previous fight, but now staying up.
Gaga trying to escape. It looks like he is going to be able to do so. Jinmu once more pressuring into the back line. Gets rid of and cleans up that immortality field. Okay, Dragon Strike used. Not going to find too much. Just helps escort the bot forward here for the Dynasty so they can gain some distance. Gives them a bit of space, but they are being flanked. Completely surrounded here at the moment. Pulse bomb after Jinmu, not going to be able to find any eliminations. Prophet once more being dove on by this Tracer consistently. Jinmu chunking him down to about half HP, but it's going to be Stalker who manages to find the first kill in the fight. Leave going to be taken out of the fray, and that's going to give Stalker a massive lead. The overclock about to be online for him, and that could really allow them to gain the lead in the distance accrued. Nate going down,
mines as well.
Zone out Nisha. Rally's rolling on either side. The Flux at the ready. He's looking for a target. Can he get the catch? No, he cannot. It's going to be a whiff there from Smurf, but the trance does get forced all the same by Monk. So either way, it's a fairly desirable result if they can win out the fight, and so far it's a good step forward. Storm arrows from Prophet, managed to find Monk, but now Stalker going to be taken down. Prophet finding a little bit more. Will eliminate Gaga. With Leave gone, that's the lion's share of the damage, the front line. And it's just the supports trying to stay alive as Prophet goes jumping in the Nisha's face.
It's good snowballing from Seoul. Like I said, the mines were pretty awkward from Gaga as well because Leave already died. Gaga was on 1, couldn't stay alive to just kind of boot people into the mines, and then you just see the payload move past the mines and no one cares anymore. Most of the ultimates got played. That really starts with Prophet's Dragon Strike, which we'll have again pretty soon, clearing the payload, allowing them to have the space to play with another dragon now.
Yep, another Dragon Strikes are through just to create some space for them. Nisha, they're just way out in no man's land. Stalker comes to the rescue just to make sure that they can confirm that kill. And it's now going to be nearly double the distance set up here for the side of the Dynasty.
Could be a cap.
They approach the first checkpoint. It could very well be a cap right here because they continue to win out the fight. The Chengdu Hunters trying to keep everybody alive, but Jinmu arriving right in front of Profits. Not quite crosshair, but right in front of the bow. Finds that kill. Now the bot will take his break, and the Dynasty shift over to try to fight in front of the spawn.
Credit to the Seoul supports here, keeping everyone alive. I mean, the kill pressure on Prophet's gone. As a reminder, again, he was the first down in that initial neutral. Now he just, I guess, hasn't died again. He's just doing all the damage required. Yeah, he hasn't died again. So it's been tough for the Chengdu Hunters to get onto these key members.
Bionade out onto both supports. The Immortality Field does go down. That will be the cleanup. It was committed there by Creative as well. Might have been a bit overzealous with that use. Well, finally, the Chengdu Hunters will break free of the oppression that the Dynasty were putting them under. They get the cleanup here onto Smurf. The bottle starts shifting back.
79's a lot, though. I think that's a good amount of distance. And again, we are on the 10-minute timer now instead of the 8-minute timer for a push, so a bit more time for Hunters to try and make that comeback happen. Overclock available now for Leave. 3rd Dragon Strike online for Prophet. He's been pounding on this Hanzo. So since he's basically not really died too many times after the first one, just the one up extra, he's been kind of doing it. That'll split the back line.
Another Dragon Strike through. Gaga leaping up into the air, trying to stay alive. The Transcendence healing there from Monk will allow them to keep him steady. Creative going so very low, but he manages to just lob the nade in, I assume at his feet. Finds Jinmu, his Prophet cleans up too and looks for a little bit more. And we'll just go ahead and bop Nisha on the nose. The bot once more shifting away, and this is starting to look dire. Even with 5 minutes left on the clock, it's not great.
You know what?
Side of the Chengdu Hunters.
Gaga's lost confidence in the ball as well, so they actually swapped off that. And he's opted for the Winston, which, what's the play here? You're going to jump in, get rocked, get slapped. It's going to be pretty rough days here. Prophet and Stalker doing a ton of damage. They're playing mostly a poke composition, which is, you know, off the back of Prophet, who's heavily just outplaying everyone with a ton of damage, huge amount of final blows. It's a bit of a comeback now, though, off the back of Nano and Leave.
Yeah, and Leave just able to charge up in front of Prophet, who'd already taken so much damage, so it's a pretty easy elimination for him. But Stalker, he's got the overclock popped. Does get Nisha, but Monk will go ahead and finish him off. A nice headshot there, orb to the face. Gets the eliminations through, and once more the bot's going to shift, but Chengdu Hunters, they need to gain some distance here. Smurf as well needs to try to escape with his life, and it seems like Jinmu will just go his separate ways. Prophet keeps the bot moving over towards the Hunter spawn.
Speaking of Hunter spawn as well, I mean, Prophet now playing the Tracer gives him the ability to make those flanks work. And it's one of the ways you punish double flank support when one of them is not caught back. Can this Blade get something done, though? Just go for Smurf for now.
Yeah, the accretion not going to connect, so Smurf does end up getting cut to pieces. Just the single kill found, though, not the wild impact that we were seeing from the Blades over on King's Row. Gaga with a nice juggle, however, catches both of the supports, and now the Chengdu Hunters have a very realistic opportunity to make the checkpoint and potentially keep things going.
They need to get further than the checkpoint, so we have the checkpoint and then a bit of a slowdown as the bot takes a bit of a break, which requires Hunters to win one more fight. If they win one more fight, they will get 79. So this is the pivotal fight. Now, time is running super low. That's a great opening pick. Smurf dies on 99 too.
That he does, and Stalker going to be taking a nap. Nanoed up. Big shutdown there from Nisha. Fantastic hit from him. Double bio out. Flipped onto Jinmu and Gaga, though. Both fall low.
Smurf's coming.
Not yet coming through for the Genji. Seems like for now, bot just going to be contested back over on the side. Stalker sits on the high ground. Turns around. Nice little 180. Finish off Jinmu. Dynasty, it's a scrappy bout, but it seems like they should be able to win this out, especially with Monk getting picked off here at the very end. Now with Nisha gone, there's not a hope in the world for the Chengdu Hunters to be able to win this one out, so the Dynasty continue to start pushing back over to the opposite side of the map.
Yeah, that's just going to cost Chengdu all the space and time, right? Because now they have to kind of regain control of the bot, then use the final 2 minutes to get back towards Seoul Dynasty territory, and even though numbers were pretty even, it was a 2-for-2 trade, 3v3 remaining on the field. Doesn't favor Chengdu at all. Massively favors Seoul in terms of respawn distance, and Chengdu have to kind of give it up. Could be leave down here if he's not careful, but the accretion will miss.
Yeah, it doesn't hit once more. Manages to stay elusive, just sliding around. The overclock is available, but they're not going to be able to get the nano clock here as Nisha gets picked off. A nice pulse one there from Prophet. Does open things up, but the ult support taken out by the hands of Jinmu, but all of that effort from the Genji here from Not. Smurf will find Gaga with that flux. Gets the finishing blows, and once more the bot is going to start pushing for the Dynasty, just further stretching this lead.
There's going to be a Nano Blade available, but the poor thing here for Hunters is they have to expend, or is likely to expend a reasonable amount just to get control. Worse still, Prophet solo pushing. So we had 79, this is like 84 now. He just gained another 5 meters under the noses of the Chengdu Hunters. I mean, each meter counts here. Realistically speaking, this is a game of inches or millimeters since we're on metrics here. A lot of ultimates, but again, it has to be high expenditure from the Hunters just to get in position to push 62.
Smurf in a bit of a rough spot here. Wraps back around the pillar, though, and the rest of the team is going to be there. Gaga now taking that as his opportunity to dive into the back lines in all of the chaos. Jinmu gets on top of Vinheim, finds that elimination. The support's going to be out of the fight for both of these teams, but now Stalker is gone, and Gaga, his Primal Blade looks just a little bit better. And manages to win out the fight for them, and now they basically have one final attempt to make this push happen. Prophet continuing to play forward, just trying to keep the bot locked into position, making sure it can't get back over to the barrier. Poking and prodding,
at least 2 fights left,
possible.
at least.
Oh, Stalker, he gets another kill. And this is massive. Oh, this is catastrophic for the side of the Chengdu Hunters. Yeah. They needed to win this out. They needed the bot to get back over in front of the spawn of the Dynasty.
It's going to be the Sombra now from Jinmu, so he's given up on the Genji, which I think is probably his best hero at this stage. Even though, like, yeah, okay, again, it's in his hero pool, but it's just not a particularly good hero right now. He wants to counter Smurf, who I think is even realistically on the Doom because of the time remaining. He wants to be fast. He sees Prophet. Prophet's been a bit of a menace in the back line, so they got that to work through. Ultimates are finally online for Hunters more so, but they have to win, again, minimum 2 fights just to start the payload moving, and then probably another fight after that.
Nano clock from either side. We'll see who manages to come out on top, leave, and Stalker try to duke it out. Stalker gets the headshot, even though he was antied out. The focus fire was not there to try to finish him off. Creative and Prophet, however, are going to die. Now Smurf is gone. It's a 3-for-1 exchange. The Chengdu Hunters trading up massively, as now Stalker will be left on with nowhere to go. He moves over to the bot, delays for a little bit longer, but the Chengdu Hunters now have an opportunity to try to win this in overtime.
They need reinforcements. They need everybody here. There's still somebody far away. Could be leave. I think they're not quite on 5, so here we go. Push comes in.
The checkpoint.
More fights to come on through. Checkpoint's reasonable, but it doesn't help them for now. The delay is massive in terms of giving Seoul Dynasty the opportunity to come in and contest.
They're going to have to make their move pretty soon because that bot, he's resumed pushing, and Monk takes Vinheim's head clean off. Absolutely massive. Smurf then sent to the ground. Monk comes up with another elimination, playing off the back of Nisha's sleeve.
Gaga needs Primal.
Make it happen. There's 15 meters left to go, and right now they are closing in. The distance is gaining here.
What's happening?
Eliminated. Stalker discorded out. The bot continuing to push unhindered. The Primal into the back. Gaga is looking to zone them off. The contest is there, but Smurf now going to be taking a nap right next to the bot. The ante comes down. The kill is there, and they're going to push it through in overtime. We're going to map 5.
It's another miraculous comeback from Chengdu. They do it again. We see it on King's Row. We see it now on Push. On Coliseum, it didn't look like it was going to be that possible. They would have needed a lot going their way, and they certainly got it. Monk, what an opening frag, what an opening couple of kills as well. Deletes Vinheim, that gets rid of the rally as well. He just popped the rally, and Monk says no. Gets a secondary kill. Those type of heroics is exactly what Hunters need to get across the line. What a game.
Absolutely incredible, and we are not done yet. We asked, and these teams have delivered. Back-to-back Game 5s, an absolutely stacked, close series. This is the stuff that we love to see that comes out of the APAC region, and that's why we cast here, because it's just the best. Wow. Monk with some incredible plays there. I mean, might very much have slingshotted his way into contention for player of the match. We'll have to find out. We'll have to see who wins this whole damn thing, because right now it's all up in the air. Don't go anywhere, guys. The final conclusion, the final map of this incredible series is going to be coming at you in just a few minutes. And we are back and going into a map 5 once more this evening. And you couldn't ask for anything even any better. This is just absolute perfection here that we're seeing today. Incredible series, incredibly close, especially here in our second one between these two teams, because it's been pretty much down to the wire the whole way through. Unlike the first one, the reverse sweep that had to come in, this has just been trading blows between the Dynasty and the Chengdu Hunters. The Hunters with an incredible run back there in overtime when all hope very much looked lost. But now the Dynasty, they're the ones who find themselves pinned up against the wall, and they have to see if they can close it out, win this series as defending champions as we get ready to go into Oasis once more.
And it kind of reminds me of 2021, Seoul versus Chengdu as well. I mean, I remember that moment in the homestand where, it went to map 5, and it was the game to get to Hawaii, and Seoul barely fell short on the 5th map. And, we kind of forget, but Chengdu and Seoul also produce some really thrilling matches. It just takes for Hunters to, get a little bit of warmth, in there to warm up over the course of... I don't know, funny they take a whole stage to warm up, but they need a good meta as well, don't they? They need to be able to get onto heroes they're comfortable on, stuff like Bull and Winston for Gaga. Leave to play Sojin when Sojin's actually buffed and good instead of her being underpowered in the previous meta. Jinmu to play his classic heroes, and even then, credit where credit is due, his Tracer looked reasonable and his Echo leveled up, so that's what you need to see out of someone where no one else can play in his position. It's just him, it's just Jinmu, he's got to get it done. But the supports of the Hunters today have been honestly pretty flawless. I did not expect that Nisha was going to come through fresh on a flex support that we've never seen before, and actually do what he does. The bio nades, the sleep at the end on Smurf there as well. Controlling Smurf for the most part. Monk fragging out the Zenyatta. I mean, what a sight to see.
It's been a wonderful look from just about everybody. I mean, because, also over on the side of the Seoul Dynasty, I mean, Creative and Vinheim also having their moments. But Stalker looking utterly incredible. Prophet doing Prophet things. Smurf widely when he hasn't been on the Sigma has been utterly delivering, especially with the Winston plays. But now we focus in as we move into City Center again. We'll see who can kick things off with a round victory on Oasis. Out the gate, the teleport forward. It looks like it's going to be Sombra v Sombra.
Yeah, I mean, and both Sombras have something to do here as well in terms of trying to hack the opposing tanks. Exactly, and they both work. They're both effective. And here's the thing as well, Jinmu, known for a Sombra from last year. Fitz already sees a translocator. Fitz was the one guy that Lip considered the closest in terms of rivaling Sombra. So an opportunity for Fitz to show his capability.
Oh boy, and he waits for the moment. He waits for the call out. They say, okay, destroy the translocator. He does, and Jinmu's got no escape. Vinheim finding first blood here as the point has been opened up. Gaga widely just going to be rolling away there for just a brief moment, making sure that he can get topped up before he rejoins, but actually has left long enough for the point to be capped here by the side of the Dynasty. Chengdu Hunters, though, looking for a fast flip, but the Dynasty not going to let it go without a fight.
That's what a 5v4 gives you straight away. Jinmu down. Fight 2, though. Gaga's getting a lot of ult charge here. Smurf low, could be going down, and in fact does, so could be the opportunity now for Hunters to get this flip on over. It's a huge amount of kills.
Prophet trying to get Monk, but despite all of his ducking and diving, the recall used, Monk manages to come out on top. The pocket healing just being chucked in by Nisha, the health pack over and over again. Finishes him with a final little melee hit. Wonderfully done there by Monk to persevere. Prophet, however, keeping pace relatively with Leaf, just a little bit behind on the pulse bomb charge. We'll see who can find more value.
Gaga, though, mine's available. That's huge for now. Fits on the jump pad, spots the translocator again. This is just abuse. Jinmu safe, though.
He says, well, I'll take your health pack away, I guess, at least.
It's inconvenient for Jinmu. He's like, oh, I just put down another one.
Okay, well, there's the first pulse from Leaf. Finds Smurf. Prophet unable to get anything with his. And, okay, Prophet, I'm not sure if he was knocked in, dashed in, whatever it was. Either way, he's dead to a mine. Gaga finding that elimination, and that's going to be a very nice stretch lead being accrued here on the point for the side of the Chengdu Hunters. Leaf just going to be a little bit up to the name, backing away as he gets antied out. He can make a quick little safe escape, and Fitz gets pile-driven into oblivion.
Yeah, it's been a bit rough out here for Seoul Dynasty. They're kind of getting lapped on ultimates a little bit here as well. Both the Sombras are kind of having parity. At least Vinheim will have the rally first and foremost. Can that be enough to get Seoul on the point, though? That's a 1+.
Okay, the rally there, the kill onto Gaga. Things looking decent here for the side of Dynasty now. as they want to get this flip ASAP. Leave. Oh, playing on such narrow margins. Pops the recall. Dashes to the side. He's playing so elusively. He's got the Orb of Harmony as well for Monk to just go ahead and keep him alive for an extended period of time. It's enough time for Gaga to rejoin the fray, but Prophet does eventually get that elimination. Now he can take a lead towards this pulse bomb. Hack out onto Smurf. Meteor Strike going to be used. Transcendence there and the rally. Both going to be stacked together for the side of the Chengdu Hunters as they really want to survive this. EMP going to be used. Jinmo trying to hack them. The Nano Boost is in onto Smurf to try to keep him alive. As Fitz holds on to his own EMP. Hasn't pulled the trigger on it yet. And the point flip hasn't come through for the side of the Dynasty. It's going to be 99% now for the side of the Chengdu Hunters, who might just be able to win this out. EMP comes through, however. Monk going to fall. That's the supports out of the fray. It seems like the Dynasty not going to be going down without a fight. They should be able to get this back under the control as Gaga goes down.
Yeah, and the Zenyatta might have 25 more HP, but still prayed towards the Sombra. Fitz definitely played that one patiently. I mean, maybe even too patiently, given the fact that Hunters are now at 99. But it will be an effective two-piece. Monk now swaps over towards the Ana. It's Ana Brig, which is not quite usual. I guess they just really want to counter Smurf. Right now you have the Sombra to put the hacks on a Smurf. You have the Ana to nade and also sleep Smurf's Doom as well. They really just want to shut down Smurf.
Not a bad person to try to shut down. Has been instrumental in the successes of the Dynasty so far today. Narrow escape there for Jinmu. Manages to translocate out, holds onto his life, and keeps the lead over Fitz for now. The EMP charge. He's trying to catch up to Prophet. Fitz is going to go down. Prophet dashing in, gets the pulse bomb in. That's going to be Nisha eliminated. The rally now pop from Vindheim. Trying to keep the rest of the team alive. Prophet falling low, but he gets some of that nice green HP to try and stay in the fray. Smurf making his exit as Prophet just continues to chase and harass onto Gaga and Leave. We'll be able to shove them back, and Dynasty now bringing it close to his Leave. Oh, that is a catastrophic mistake. He dashes right in. He takes the fight. He says, I can win this. Prophet says, no, you cannot.
That entirely ruins the reset timing, so Prophet gets a premier kill onto an important member of the Chengdu Hunters where, previously Leave would have just been able to link up with the rest of the Hunters. They make the 5v5 play. Now that they have to wait for Leave to come back, which he's already arrived, it's going to be final fights. 99 and 99. Fitz has the backline covered.
Dive in, punch, Monk knocked out of the park, but Smurf does get traded back quickly thereafter. Looking for Nisha as he's down to half HP. Pack gonna be grabbed as he just tries to stay alive. Fitz now EMP nearly at the ready. Another hack attempted, not gonna be able to connect. EMP meanwhile gonna be used by Jinmu back over on the point. EMP comes in from Fitz, and instantly 3 kills come flying through. Prophet was nanoed up. He nearly has a pulse bomb. Looks like he's not gonna need it. Won't get to use it. Monk will put him to bed. But it's 100 to 99% as the Dynasty will be able to take the opening round of Oasis.
You have to remember as well, we were once sitting at, what was the scoreline? 99 to 20 something on the side of the Seoul Dynasty. Very patient EMP from Fitz that gets the double onto Monk and Nisha, collects both kills as well. And from that point onwards, Seoul Dynasty held on to the point. Fitz on the back line, tons of pressure, lots of damage, lots of kills onto both Monk and Nisha. And an incredible timing for Prophet to find Leave just as Hunters were timing themselves for a push, and something like that entirely just ruins the Hunters' timing for recontesting. So that'll be the comeback from the Seoul Dynasty now on officially match point.
And some other games we might call that an ego duel taken by Leave. They paid the iron price for it. They lose the round. See if they can answer back and take this to University, or if it will all end on Gardens. Fitz once more going to go on the hunt, ramping down around through the low ground. Hack going forward, catches Gaga with that one. Will still be able to pull back, break line of sight, and keep himself nice and healthy.
Yeah, Gaga is taking a bit of damage. Smurf, though, holy, he just got blown up. One hack, and then Monk destroyed him.
Yeah, Monk and Jinmu, the Discord orb goes out. They get the hack, and they absolutely rip him to shreds. Prophet as well now in a bit of a rough spot.
What is that fadeaway?
Okay, yeah, he gets him at the very end. I thought he wasn't going to get the kill. He did. I got to stop doubting Monk when he's on the Zenyatta because the guy is absolutely cracked out of his mind. Push forward. There's the stick. Just looking to finish off Smurf, and they will. And that is going to be Chengdu Hunters first on the board, already ticking up towards 15%.
Same as what we saw in City Center, right, which is Hunters will get the early lead here. Seoul Dynasty yet to make any action. Prophet nearly on the... Okay, Prophet nearly got there, but he forgot about Monk. He forgot about Monk, who's on an absolute tear so far. This guy's been fragging up a storm.
Absolutely incredible leave as well. Now getting his hands dirty. Finds Smurf once more. This time without the pulse bomb being necessary.
Spawn camping?
Aim as well going to fall. And yeah, they are spawn camping them right now. This is brutal. Pulse bomb out from Prophet. Not going to be able to find anything. Yep, I think it just landed right there on the floor. Couldn't find a kill. Maybe it got on the shield.
I think it was a mistake for Monk to have gone Ana on the last map. When you're fragging this hard at his end, there's no way you go towards an Ana. Screw shutting down Smurf for the sleep dart. Just kill the man with your orbs. That's what he's been doing so far. And I think the fact that Creative is not on a Zenyatta could be something detrimental. Both of the Sombras will now be looking towards the MP.
He doesn't pop the Transcendence. I can't believe it. He was pressured out so much. He went so very low, but he still holds on to the ultimate. That is massive. It would have been, you know, a silver lining, a nice little consolation prize for the Dynasty on the back of this lost fight if they had gotten that ult out of him. But Monk is just rock steady, does not care. He is absolutely unfazed.
I mean, yeah, giant balls. I'm talking about his left clicks, by the way, is what I'm meaning by that. Yeah. A lot of ultimates online, but I mean, just soldiers don't get an opportunity to play this game. They don't get an opportunity to actually make a fight happen. Some scouting on the back line. Jimmy actually got caught by Whipshot. That was a brilliant hit by Vindane, but they still need to touch the point and enable this. Again, double EMPs. That's what you got to be looking at. That's where the fights will open up from. And they blow up Smurf again. That's been the main target for the Chengdu Hunters.
Rally first, EMP goes out, manages to catch on a 3. Smurf narrowly escapes the Meteor Strike, tries to take it aggro up onto the high ground. He stays there for the moment. Seems like he will be okay. Transcendence out from Monk. Uses that first. Nisha still holds onto the rally himself. See when he decides to use it, because now he's going to be antied out. It could just save it for the follow-up fight, because if nothing else, they have time on their side. It seems like this is going to be the Chengdu Hunters happy enough to go ahead, surrender the point control over to the Dynasty. They say, you know what, we're at 99%. This is fine. Let's just go ahead, hold on to the ults, recollect, retake.
Well, you can't be complacent either, because they were at 99% on City Center. That didn't end up well for them once Seoul Dynasty had control, which they do now. Big difference that last fight was Gaga, low HP dies, Smurf, low HP, Meteor strikes. That's considering the hack did come through as well. So if Smurf had also died and they traded tanks, Hunters potentially still get that fight, or at least make it competitive. Smurf will instantly receive the nano this time around as Fitz tries to go for the back line.
He does. They get the hack out. Prophet with the pulse bomb finds Nisha. Point flip. Nearly there here for the side of the Hunters, but the rest of the Dynasty collapse back over to the point. The hack is in onto Gaga. He's got no way to escape. We'll be able to clean him up, and it's going to be more time bought, more percentage bought here for the side of the Dynasty, but ults still extremely limited. Leave with his pulse that's about to be online. He could really break things open.
I'll tell you what as well, you know, break things open. Fitz has been nursing this EMP for quite some time now. Thankfully, though, the last time he nursed it, it ended up pretty good. It lands on both. Can it be a double kill? It certainly is.
Very nicely done there by Fitz. Now the dive in. They're looking for Jinmu. Take him low, force the translocate. Oh, spots him. Has an idea of where he's going to be jumping around to. Trying to fish him out, and there he is. Sitting right on the ledge, the translocator up over the top, and he whips it. And Jinmu goes sailing off the side. And once more, it's a stagger. Great spy checking here from the side of the Dynasty.
So, this is like City Center all over again, except instead of Prophet killing Leave, it's Fitz killing Jinmu, just ruining the timings, which means we're getting ahead to another 99-99, which is why I said, despite Hunters being that far ahead, you can't count out Seoul. So this could still go either way. That being said, good ultimates online for the Chengdu Hunters. Mines will make a difference in the final fight. Can be cleared, however, by a Meteor Strike. Aggressive Mines.
Can be. Pulse bomb in from Leave. Not going to find any value. Sleep Dart connects on a Gaga. Leave going to be a sliver of HP. Dashes over, manages to grab the Mega Pack. Falls instantly down to 3.
Wait.
Nobody touched. Nobody touched.
Okay. Wow. And that's it. That's all, folks. The game is over. That's all, folks.
Oh.
Still better than an A.
Yes. But dear God. I've walked off camera. I know we're not on camera right now, but I've walked off. I'm like pacing around my room right now. I cannot comprehend. Well, of course I can comprehend. It's the Chengdu Hunters. Of course. Of course this is what happens. Oh my gosh.
That's funny. That's funny. I'm trying to remember who was alive. Like, you know, whose job was it? I think we were watching Leave, and he's in combat. He's fighting people. So it's not him. I don't know. I don't know whose job it was, but it was looking winnable for Hunters. But you know, hey, I'll tell you what though. In classic Apex style, we will have better games in NA. Factually speaking, look, our first day of Midseason Madness already are just better than a full week at NA, straight up. But the downside is we will end with a C9. That's the tail side of the coin.
And that's like 2 in the map, because you did have Prophet Ninja push on Gibraltar B as well. So it's 2 little oopsies.
I don't know. No. I don't know if that's a C9 though. That to me doesn't count as C9.
I'm just saying it's,
sure,
it's 2 instances of not paying attention
it's an oopsie.
to
I'll give you an
point.
oopsie.
2 major oopsies, one of them costing them the series. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I mean, what a somehow fitting way to close out the series there for Chengdu. Fighting tooth and nail, trying to make it all the way to the end, trying to take us to university for one more round of Oasis, but just didn't get on the point. Anyway, moving on. Let's forget about it. Our player of the match is Prophet. I think this could have gone a million different ways for the side of the Seoul Dynasty. I don't know about you, Avril, but Prophet was just huge. We kind of questioned the Hanzo, especially on Coliseum, and he managed to make it work, obviously, because it's Prophet.
This guy's like Thanos. Like, try as you might, the player of the match still arrives. To cease the molding a little bit here. No, he does deserve it, and the reason why is because I think Stalker played well, but he didn't play the entire series. Fitz as well, only came in for 2 maps. Smurf had good moments, but also some poor moments today. To be very clear, it wasn't a 100% smooth performance for Smurf. I don't even think it was only that. I mean, you know, sure, if we want to just scapegoat one pick, I guess you would. And the supports were reasonable, but not like mind-blowing. I think Monk and Nisha really outperformed Creative Indane today, truly.
Yeah.
But I think the one player on Seoul Dynasty that was not outperformed, that actually I think played better than his counterpart, either of the counterparts, was Prophet. He had the better game today overall across all 10 players. Whereas the rest of Seoul were reasonable, but Prophet stood out as he normally does. So I'm sorry, but he does deserve it. He truly does. He certainly does.
I mean, he's the GOAT for a reason. Just doesn't, you know, it's always a safe bet. There's never really a time where you can be like, really, did Prophet deserve that player of the match? Like, he's usually putting up the figures. And even then, I think he still had a bit of a lackluster day on the Tracer from time to time, because we weren't seeing the old reliable sticks come through that he is so very known for. It was a little bit fewer and far in between when he was able to get those kills, but he still just put up incredible figures. I mean, his build time as well on that first Dragon Strike, thinking back to it on Coliseum, was just
all 3 of them
so quick.
Back to back.
Yeah, so just incredible performance from Prophet. But I gotta say, you know, for the Chengdu Hunter fans, if this is a consolation for you whatsoever, especially for Monk fans, Monk 100%. He would have gotten player of the match had they been able to win this series. If they could take it to the end, Monk absolutely would have been walking away with it, because he played phenomenally. Got to give a shout to him, of course. But Chengdu Hunters overall, outside of, you know, when it came down to the actual plays, it was good. Sometimes the plays just didn't happen in the location of the map that it needed